Hello, everyone. I'm Xiaosheng, the founder of CyberTech. We own a research institute called Cybersecurity Reviews. We release industry reports several times a year. The previous speakers have shared with us many exciting news. For example, 800G in-campus network or more than 10G access in campus. As a cybersecurity professional, I immediately think, how do we handle the security side of those developments? In the digital era, users are managing security in different ways. We can group them into four categories. The first category of users are government ministries, state-owned enterprises, power, finance, and regulator institutions. They are very large organizations with big budget. They usually have a dedicated team for cybersecurity, about more 10 to hundreds of people, and they will play a leading role in cybersecurity management. Vendors will provide products or services to be integrated by their solution. Their attention is mainly on defense. So we call it compliance plus because their requirements are higher than basic compliance. The second type of users are organizations in healthcare, education, or small government organizations. They usually have a very small team, if they have any. Sometimes they only have one person as a team or even half person. And their main requirement is compliance. The third category of users are large businesses, such as private firms. They also pay high attention to cybersecurity. They want to build their own security capabilities. In this sense, they are similar to the first group. The fourth category, that is the SMEs. They play a very important role in digital transformation. But in the past, they didn't care much about digital transformation. As long as the cybersecurity risks did not affect their production, they didn't care. But now their supply chain is more interconnected. They now have automated industrial control based on computers and networks and cyber attacks, which cause production loss or interruption to their business. So now these SMEs are spending more budget on cybersecurity, but they still care about cost effectiveness. So what are the trends for cybersecurity? The first one is operations, security operations. There are over 200 security products in the market. If you're a security expert, you need to pick out the ones you need and deploy them in a reasonable way to form your defense. But security is dynamic. It requires continuous operation. Second, this is a result of operations. You need to consolidate the security capabilities. You need to integrate the products from more than 200 security vendors. And in China, it's more complicated than in the US, for instance, because there are so many different vendors and lots of barriers for them to interwork. The third challenge is resilience. In February last year, the U.S. Defense Ministry released a white paper on zero trust network. So the basic assumption is that all networks can be attacked, can be cracked. So when you design the network, you need to think about how you can identify such intrusions and block them. The fourth trend is agility. Those faster fishes will be the ones to survive last. The service is evolving very quickly, but we need to at the same time guarantee security. For example, there's agile development in the software world. The applications can be deployed in containers. There is the development pipeline, CI/CD. and the business are happening much faster, and that brings new requirements. For example, ICBC runs more than 200 pipelines per day and more than 100,000 pipelines per year. When developers submit code for function testing and unit testing, they want to get the security testing result in 45 minutes. This is very demanding for traditional tools.
服务化。
Last trend is service. Security as a service. Security as a service is more cost effective. It can also address the shortage of maintenance engineers in companies. How to achieve security operation? To do that, you need the following staffing. You need the log analysis team, the rules team, the first tier operation, second tier operation team, and even third tier operation team. And recently, there is even a new team called BAS, the Attack and Defense Team and Performance Verification Team. It's a very big team. You need more than a dozen people to achieve all this operation work. Then what tools do you need? In SOC, you need SCMDB. You have event platform, ticket platform, BAS, and rules platform. Then for the staffing, we already mentioned rules team, logs team, and BAS team. And for processes, you need SOP, the SOAR for auto orchestration and event response closed loop process. This should give us a sense that security operation is actually very demanding. Security as a service actually can provide cloud-based secure services. There are two typical such services. One is MSS, the other is MDR. MSS occurred in Western countries for many years, but it did not go very well in China. MDR is a new concept, but now the trend in China is that MSS vendors are covering the job of MDR. In the US, MDR services are provided by traditional telcos. They have dedicated MDR vendors, but in China, MSS enterprises are providing MDR services at the same time. That's the difference between the Chinese market and Western market. For some Western market, MDSS includes the following: 24/7 threat monitoring, managed security service, Tier 1 and Tier 2 threat analysis, and basic mitigation and remediation, while MDR is more professional security services, including threat hunting, threat research, behavior analysis, and forensic investigation, etc. But now in China, the MSS vendors are covering the services actually belong to MDR. Traditional security vendors, and as well as Huawei, H3C, those infrastructure equipment providers are entering the MDR market. Take Huawei's Qiankun Cloud as an example. A cloud security service occurred 2 years ago. It covers the cloud, network, and device. On cloud, there is EDR. In the network, there is a Tianguan gateway for traffic analysis. And then there is a Tiankun on the device side. On the cloud, there is a cloud service for security. Huawei did some excellent experimentation on AI by leveraging the knowledge graph to assist the security operation. Knowledge graph can help with behavior analysis and threat analysis. We believe that security as a service is the key to cybersecurity operation. When SMEs are embarking on their digital transformation, they do not have enough security engineers to support them. the Ministry of Education released a paper saying that there is a gap of 3 million security engineers on the market. And each year we can expect at most 100,000 students or graduates working on security. So we may need decades of efforts to fill in the gap of security engineers shortage. For SMEs, the best choice is such a security service so that they can reuse the security engineers and reduce their cost. Such security engineers are more professional and they can use the more professional security products and tools and are assisted by system to enable 24/7 service. According to statistics, now one engineer can serve more than 10 customers, and that means lower cost for SMEs. We think there are 7 driving factors for technology, product, and service evolution in security. First is compliance, and then second is events like vulnerabilities log4j, then infrastructure change, and then business model change. Like security as a service is a new business model that is emerging. And philosophy change, like zero trust, and technology progress, AI is now used. Some special action plans by the government, like attack and defense and security drills, taken by the government institutions. All these are driving factors. Security as a service now has some Chinese characteristics, like the internet issues. In the internet issues, there is a need to build some dedicated security service only serve a certain segment or industry. Or there could be a need for internet side security service. Like some hospitals, they need the external internet security services. And for some enterprises, like carriers, they want their data to stay locally. That can be a problem. And the third issue is the identity of the service providers. The industry approach is to set up for the government to set up some joint ventures with private sectors. Like state-owned enterprises are setting up joint ventures with private enterprises. Knowledge graph, a way of AI application, is already used in cybersecurity. Large model and large model technologies are already adopted. The test accuracy is higher than 99.9%. This is the number of cybersecurity service projects over the years, be it managed service, MSS, or the operation service projects. There is a significant increase in the number of projects. And this is the service distribution by industry. The government sector takes up the majority share. I just received a message from my friends in China Unicom Guangdong. They just won the bid from the Guangdong government on secure cloud or secure service with more than 300 million yuan in total. Left-hand side is the service projects, and right-hand side is the budget. The growth speed is quite fast in sectors like finance and in government agencies and education. There are a lot of projects, and these institutions tend to have a very deep pocket. As to service vendors, we see also a lot, such as Huawei, which has more than 10,000 customers. And Sun4 started last year, also has developed a lot of users. And Venus Tech set up the joint ventures in more than 120 cities. And Dust Security did not disclose specific data, but I know it has a total revenue of more than 300 million last year on security projects. So for SMEs, their way out is security as a service. But that is not just for SMEs. Some major large enterprises may also prefer that. And that's all from my side.